Tory Taylor, who they actually needed some help in terms of their punting unit. He is going to be great.
But I do firmly believe if Odunze's not on the board, that they probably trade back and gain assets and look to fortify their team across the board. But the fact that we got a bozo pick in number 8 here from the Atlanta Falcons, that's the reason why I believe also they picked out the Bears as the winner.
The early line, only on SportsGrid.
Does Dame get frustrated? Miserable year in Milwaukee. Does he ask out? Does Giannis ask out? Well, you ain't got no one else to trade. Middleton makes a ton of money, old. Bobby Portis makes a ton of money, old. Brook Lopez makes a ton of money, old. Pat Connaughton's going to give you nothing in trade value. So to me, watch Milwaukee. Folks, this could be the end of the Bucks dynasty.
Betting above the rim, only on SportsGrid. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid, your 24/7 sports wagering network. The early line.
Magical and historic season in Lincoln, Nebraska continues.
He is the best player in the NBA, but also in the biggest moments where the national media is watching.
Newswire.
Something that we have never seen happen before with one of the iconic coaches in the game.
Pharrell, coast to coast.
The team covers. It's automatic. It's every time. Not sometimes. It's every time.
Game time decisions.
Luka is actually far more dangerous from 3 on the road this year than at home.
This game here tonight, you may want to consider taking as many points as humanly possible.
In-game live, prime time.
We got not 1, but 2 coaches fired systems in place.
SportsRage late
sort
night.
of has letdown written all over it. It's going to be hard to match the emotion that they played with the other night.
It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
Let's roll. This is SportsRage. I am Gabriel Morency, the pimps, the players, the hustlers, the people that bust them, and everybody else in between. The Monday Night Meltdown has begun, and we've got an epic game going on right now at the Garden. There's a play that's under review, and the Knicks are up by 1 point right now as the game is coming down to the final seconds, 23 seconds remaining. The Knicks are up 118-117. We love the over of this game, 217 and a half. It was far too light. As we see, it's 118-117 right now, but Brunson might have just turned the ball over. He doesn't think so. The Pacers think they do. I think the refs think he did as well. We went to a commercial break, so it could be the Pacers ball when we come back. Siakam just hit a deuce. I noticed the floor is pretty slippery as well, specifically on the New York defensive side of things, the Pacers. Siakam nearly traveled because he fell. He slipped with the ball and he passed it up. And buddy he passed it to nearly fell as well. At first I was like, come on, Pascal, you can't fall now. That was not a time to slip, bro. And it wasn't him, right? He passed it to it, I think it was Naismith. He passed it to Naismith, and then he slipped in the same spot after. What a coincidence. Hey, mop that up, kid. mop that up. I can't tell. I got to see this replay again. It's hard to tell. I don't think it went off his foot. It looked like you could make the argument, like if you were playing street ball, you could make that argument. I think the Pacers are getting screwed here, personally. The ball, I got to see it again, though. I don't want to die on this hill. I got to see it again, but it didn't appear to hit Halliburton's foot, to be honest. It looked like it did. The ball bounced out of bounds, but, they nearly just coughed it up again. It was like ball don't lie type of deal. They're having a hard time. They just did. That's a ball don't lie right there. That's the definition of, I don't know about that call, man. And then literally a minute later, Brunson was possessed to turn the ball over there, guys. Let's just call it out for what it is. The Pacers did a good job of harassing him and getting in his face. Now they're going to screw the Pacers again now on this. They're going to screw the Pacers again. This is some pretty big drama going on right now at the Garden. But it's the Pacers ball, down 1 with 18.4 left. Game on the line. I don't like when teams wait till the, oh, my God, you got to be killing me. Like, really? This is pretty crazy. Like, both teams are just, like, does either team want to win this basketball game? So what's this foul? That's a garbage call, man. That's a garbage call. Dude, the Pacers are getting effing mauled under the paint, and you're going to call that now with the game on the line? Seriously? That's bad. That's bad. Like, that's not letting them play, man. Like, seriously? That's not letting them play. Like, I would not, if I was Carlisle, I'd be ready to punch someone, actually, to be honest, at this point in time. It's pretty clear what the league wants, not the Pacers. like, let's just be real. You can't call that now. Come on, man. He ran into him. Look, I already hit my over here. I'm just saying, if I was the ref, I'm not calling that, bro. You ran right into him. What do you want Turner to do? You're going to call that with 12 seconds left of a playoff game that these guys are beating the crap out of each other. Siakam has been literally hit like 13 times. Every time he tries to go to the basket, he gets hit. He keeps looking like, are you going to call it? And it's like, no, okay, don't. Fine, you're not calling it. It's a playoff game. We get it. And I got to see, one thing with the playoffs in the NBA this year, they have let a lot of stuff go. Like, it is very old school. Like, you can get away with quite a lot. I guess it depends on what team you are, though. I guess that's what it depends. As ask Nick Nurse and the Philadelphia 76ers about that. This is just like flat out garbage, bro. Yeah, whatever. You want to go by the definition, like you want to call that, like with 12 seconds left after they get the ball back? Like, really? Wow. And it's only game 1, so like the Pacers have to try to remain calm and realize we're not going to get any calls in this series. It's pretty clear. So they're going to be going to the free throw line now, and they're up by a deuce. The Pacers are going to get the ball back. We'll see how the refs find a way of screwing them over again at the end here. Looks like the Pacers are going to cover the point spread no matter what happens. So we've got the T-Wolves and the Denver Nuggets coming up. The spread is all over the place. It's been bouncing around. So Rudy Gobert is not playing. And I heard personal reasons earlier in this. So I see 7 right now. And I saw 7.5 too. I just bet a 7.5 a couple of seconds ago, and I'm seeing the 7 right now. So give me the T-Wolves and give me the over. Rudy Gobert's not playing. This game's going to be a higher scoring game. I said it earlier in the day. It was 207. It was too light. I like the over this game. Rudy Gobert is like the best defensive player in the NBA. You take him out of the lineup, and it opens things up. It'll open things up for the Nuggets. All right, specifically Jokic. Jokic's going to have like a ton of just sort of layups and putbacks and stuff like that tonight that he would be a lot harder to get. But with that being stated, I still think the T-Wolves can play with them. Right? Gobert's the second most important player on that team. When Karl-Anthony Towns was out, you saw it didn't really hurt them that much. And then when Gobert was out, anytime Gobert's out, it's not good for them. But with that being stated, I still don't think Denver really are built to win by 8 points. It's not like everything is hard for them, right? Like Minnesota know them inside out as well. Minnesota are well coached. Minnesota still have size even without Gobert. Now, Gobert, his wife had a kid today. That's why he's not playing. I thought, like, earlier when I heard personal reasons, I was thinking, this better be, like, damn good. Like, seriously. It's a playoff game. I don't want to sound like all that, but number one, like, I don't want to be that guy and say that, like, he should, and now they're down by 4, 121, 117. I don't want to be that guy, but he should be playing. So what, you can't get back? You can't get back on time. And honestly, too, like I said this before about this stuff, this is what like video cameras were invented for. You know what I'm saying? It's like, listen, you record it I get it. You want to be there. It's the birth of your kid and stuff. But you also got to say, like, listen, the reason that my kid is going to live the lifestyle that he does is because I've got a job to do. And it's game 2 of a playoff series in which if we win, we're going to really have these guys on the ropes. I'm not like, I guess it'd be a good poll question. I'm not down with it, though. I'm not down with it. Like, he should have gotten his ass back after. Or at least, or even just say, listen, you're not going to be there at the moment the kid was born. But as soon as the game is over, we got a charter for you, right? You got a private plane waiting for you. As soon as the game is over, you can go and whatever. We'll see you in Minnesota tomorrow or in 2 days, whatever. But hey, it's the modern world. It is what it is. I got to tell you guys, though, I don't know, like, how long ago I have to go back. Probably like 20 years, 15. This wouldn't have been tolerated. Look, man, they ran Sandy Koufax out of town because he wouldn't pitch on Yom Kippur. Like, you know what I mean? And they were mad. That was religious purposes. Like, they were like, you don't want it. Like, you're not one of us. Like, it's this whole thing about missing games, like, short of, like, a mass murder, like your family got killed by Freddie and it was on Elm Street or something. It's like, I don't know, dude. Should probably be playing in this game. This is Sports Rage.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books. And outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
Sports Rage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
This is Sports Rage. I am Morency, Sirius XM Channel 159, SportsGrid Radio and Television Networks. It's 3-1 for the Boston Bruins. The third period has just started. We're 2 minutes in. The Panthers are on the power play, and it would be good for them if they were able to score on this power play. As Boston scored, I think they just hit the post, and they nearly just scored. They're pressing. Boston was up 2-1, which was not a big deal, but Boston scored like right before the end of the second period to go up 3-1. An absolute killer for the Florida Panthers. And the Boston Bruins, of course, coming off their Game 7 win on Saturday night. The quick turnaround, it can go one or two ways with these teams in sports, in the NBA or the NHL, right? They win Game 7, and you could argue they have the momentum. Teams want to play right away and keep things going. The Panthers been off for longer than they have. They'll be a little, take them a little while that first period to get going. And/or you could say, well, oftentimes they'll win Game 7. It's a massive letdown in Game 1. It's a fresh matchup. They get punched in the mouth, and then they regroup again. But the Boston Bruins are just systematically doing their thing. Swayman stepping up big, and it's 3-1 still right now. Let's bring in Cam Stewart. And I swear to God, that looked like it went in. I don't know how it didn't. It looked like it went through the net, but it didn't. Yeah. It went over the net. Sorry, Cam. Sounds like you're on the Panthers.
Yes, I am, Gabe.
I can tell by the look on your face.
This Boston Bruins team, I should just become
so
a Bruins
am I, actually,
fan.
for the record.
You know what? Honest to God, I should just give up and join. It'd be a hell of a lot easier than cheering against these guys.
Nah, they're not that good. They're not that good. They're just starting, they're starting to upset me.
Ways. Yeah, they've upset me for many years, and tonight's just another day with Boston. But hey, good on Boston. No, you said it. That was a great comment off the top. I'd rather be that team when you're playing good and the way they won too. They're like, you know what? Let's get Florida. Florida's rested. Hockey's one of those sports where I think you want to get out there and keep on playing hockey. But you're right. It's all about Swayman right now. This guy's just a beast. It's the only reason the Leafs lost is because of their goalie. He's hot.
You know what? I'd like not to like him, but I saw him on the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah,
today.
Nice
and
guy.
Yeah, he's a humble, sort of soft-spoken dude. Like he's not, he's not like a Boston Bruin fan. We'll put it that way. And you see now, he's having a good time. He's laughing right there. He's smiling. He's laughing, and everything's going their way. But like I said, Florida. Florida hasn't played in 5 days, 6 days or something like that, whatever it's been. So it's not a shock. I do still think there's a lot of hockey left in this game. Let's bring in Joe Madden. It's 3-1 right now. It looks like they're going to kill off this power play. So the new in-game total, a new line of this game, the Bruins right now, -2.5, +155. The Panthers +2.5, -190. The total is 5.5, -135 to the over. Under 5.5, +105. Joe, who are you on this game before the game started?
I'm in the same boat as you two. I'm on the Florida Panthers. I really did expect them to come out rested and hungry, like we saw with the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers yesterday. I didn't expect the slow start. I didn't expect Swayman to be so hot and Boston's defense to really stand up. So I'm shocked with what we're seeing right now. I expected this score to be flipped at this point in the game.
Me too.
All three of us.
You all right, Cam?
Yeah, no, I had to buy a Cam Neely jersey today and pay money. And I walked into the place, the guy's wearing a Brad Marchand jersey. It's like, come on, it's kind of like that show. I'm already dead. Stop hitting me. I couldn't take it anymore. Yeah, I got a bet with Peralt, so I got to do his show on Wednesday and wear that stupid friggin' jersey. Looks nice.
It reminds me.
Yeah.
I actually owe our guest later, Mo Khan, that's coming on a little bit later on, a New England Patriots draft hat that I didn't take care of yet.
Yeah.
I've got that one.
People are asking where are the monies. Yeah, here they come.
And you notice the connection just by chance? It's a Boston team that somehow I got to buy him a Patriots hat.
Unbelievable.
The bet was I said J.J. McCarthy would get drafted ahead of Drake May. And he disagreed, and we said, whatever team drafts the respective player first, we have to buy the draft hat. And I lost, Joe, but I'm happy because I like J.J. McCarthy, and I didn't want him on the New England Patriots. Speaking of which, Joe, did you watch this Tom Brady roast at all last night?
Got a little bit dirty.
I didn't, but I saw clips of it, and I can't wait to watch it. That's my plan later after this game's over. I'm going to turn it on and watch it because it looked hilarious.
I didn't watch it live. I was watching whatever game was on. I was watching. Oh my God! I swear, I don't know if Florida, the puck's just not going in. Swayman's on fire, but yeah, there was the Tom Brady roast last night. There were some good jokes. There were some, it's comedy, so it's hit or miss. Some of them fell flat. Some of the presenters were pretty awkward. Drew Bledsoe was good though. And I respect it more than I find out that Drew Bledsoe, his wife, wrote the joke, actually. Because to me, whatever. Kim Kardashian getting up on the stage and roasting Tom Brady is like, yeah, whatever. Like, she's reading a teleprompter. And so, like, actually, you know what I mean? Like, so if it's not, you could tell if it's written by the person or not. And Drew Bledsoe came up and he said, well, you know, we all know Tom Brady took my job, but I have two things that you'll never have, Tom. He goes, I was the first overall pick of the NFL draft, and I had just had my 28th wedding anniversary.
Oh, that is a
That was
good
the other
one.
one, too, where he got mad about the massages and crap. He's like, shut up. Like, they got pretty
Yeah, no, he
deep
didn't
on
like
some-
that one. No, he was mad. He said,
was
don't joke
mad.
about that. Don't
Yeah,
talk about that crap.
Shut
No,
up.
no. Like, he was, don't do that. Like, he was mad.
Hey, here's a tip,
You
Tom.
figure it was a roast that, like, even
Yes,
Kraft
right,
had to
you did.
expect that, yeah, someone's going to make a joke about this. Like, you know what I mean?
When you sign up for a roast, there's no rules. You can say anything about the guy. That's the deal. I'm with you, Morency. 2 for 2. Excellent point. It's a roast. Let's get real.
Julian Edelman had a really good one towards Belichick. He goes, you know, Bill, you were a real character, a real like piece of work to play for over the years. Let me tell you. And he's sitting there, and he goes, I'll never forget the time you told me that I played like a kid at Foxborough High School, and I couldn't make a play, and I probably would have made the Foxborough High School football team. He goes, well, now the only job you could get was with Foxborough High School.
True.
It was a good one.
It. Yes.
The one there was a few like, you know, over the top ones. It's like, oh hey, like.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a -115 Canes, Rangers -105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So it's 3-1 for the Boston Bruins over the Florida Panthers still right now. 13 minutes left in the first period of play. And I got to be honest, just this full disclosure, and no offense to fans tuning in of either team, but I don't like either team. Like, there's some series that just sort of bother me, and I'm like, oh, God, right? That, you know, there's some series I'll naturally just sort of, like, rather a team win, or I'm more of a fan of a team. I think Kachuk talks too much, and Cam, you're the Leaf fan, and
that was pretty low blow.
I thought it was a little classless, to be honest. And listen, Boston just scored again, so it's game 7 match. It's over. It's 4-1.
Wow.
Bobrovsky. Isn't it amazing? The guy stands on his head, and this is probably the worst game I've seen him play in I don't know how long. It's not like it's his fault or whatever, but he was standing on his head, and if he doesn't play well, Boston's a scary team, Gabe. But yeah, I thought it was classless. Like, you know what I mean? Oh, we all knew that Boston was going to win anyway. Dude, like, you had nothing to do with that. It's between Boston and the Leafs, and that's a Tkachuk move. The guy's he's a jerk.
Well,
great.
To me, it's like worry about your own hockey team. And my deal with that, Joe, is I must be missing all the Florida Panther banners up in your building here, Tkachuk. Right? It's like, dude, you're the Panthers. Like, you shouldn't be talking smack. You guys have been good for 1 year, 2 years. Good for you. Right? Like, honestly. So, like, the attitude of Tkachuk for a player, like I said, if you want, like Patrick Waugh telling the Red Wings, I'm sorry I can't hear you. My Stanley Cups are plugging my ears. Or he told Jeremy Roenick, you can get away with it if you've won stuff before. But if you're Tkachuk, you haven't won. So I don't really I wouldn't be taking shots at other organizations, right? That's my deal. It's bad hockey karma as well, Joe. Like, don't talk about other teams that you're not playing. Like, you're playing the Boston Bruins, you're not playing the Leafs, and now you're losing to the Boston Bruins as well. Not a good look for Tkachuk. He should keep his mouth shut. I'm going to pull a Pat Riley and tell him like Jimmy Butler, like, you should keep your mouth shut about other teams.
Agreed.
Yeah, I completely agree. He definitely should, but that's always been Matthew Tkachuk, right? You look at Tkachuk, he's always been vocal throughout his hockey career, and, people don't like him for it, and I completely understand why. I do like him as a hockey player, but I agree with you. Keep your mouth shut out there.
Which is strange because his father was so calm and never lost his temper. And I say that sarcastically.
Yes, he's
Keith Tkachuk, I don't want to specifically say it was him, but it pretty much was him. But the U.S., when they were in the Olympics in Japan, they lost and they smashed like the room up. They got really, it wasn't a good scene. And Tkachuk was like at the front of it. He's like, the sons are kind of like their father, except even worse. like Matthew is like Keith accelerated. The kid on Ottawa is not as bad. He's good, but he doesn't have the same sort of as much of the pure jerkdom in him. But that's what makes them good hockey players. Like he is, like you said, Joe, he's a great player, but he's annoying. And like I said, unless you win, don't talk. It's pretty simple. And it's rare too, because hockey players never talk either. It's like the sport that they talk the least smack about each other. Like, you're never going to hear anybody say, oh, that team sucks or this, but unless you're the Leafs, unless you're the Leafs and people are just feeling comfortable enough to say, whatever, right? We're not surprised they choked and lost. But I thought the Leafs actually played well. I think they showed a lot of heart if you consider the circumstances, which the problem is past failures compound, right? So whether it's fair or not, and it is fair because it's been the same unit for a while here, but if you look at what they did in this series, they didn't have Austin Matthews for like half the series. They didn't have Nylander for the first 2 games. They lose their goalie who suddenly got hot. And I get it. Teams have injuries. Vancouver lost their goalies even. But Toronto did go through a lot of adversity. Lost in overtime in Game 7. It's not like they got steamrolled and got swept or anything like that, right? But with all that being stated, they're gonna break the team up. I think there's not any really turning back now with this, and I believe it'll be Mitch Marner. Mitch Marner will get dealt, and we'll see what they're able to get for him. They should be able to get something pretty good in return. There'll be teams that'll want Mitch Marner. There's already talk the Philadelphia Flyers would be willing to make a move. But the Leafs need to shake things up. As far as the coach is concerned, I don't know. I'm not like out to fire him, to be honest. We'll get Cam and Joe's take on the other side, but I don't really think it's his fault.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York team has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books, and outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in game one of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. So the playoffs are rolling on, and looks like the status quo is getting shaken up a little bit. The Denver Nuggets are in trouble for real in this series. You could just tell early on right now that the Minnesota Timberwolves are like the better team, right? As good as Denver are, and as good as Denver have that pedigree, and they find ways to win, this is like the fight game. Like Minnesota right now are like Mr. T in a Rocky movie. Like they want the belt, and Denver's in the way. And you could just tell, like they're freaking determined. They're big. They got a superstar here in the making that's turning into a superstar in Anthony Edwards, and they got an 8-point lead right now. Like Denver continuously spotting teams' leads is going to catch up to them, right? You were lucky to come back against the Lakers all the time. People forget that. The Lakers dominated the series. Like the Lakers led like 160 minutes or something of the series. And then they'd lose in the last couple of minutes all the time. It's a dangerous way to try to win a championship, especially this early in the playoffs. I get it. A win is a win. You get by. But Minnesota's balling right now, and I'm starting to think about it. And, like, really, I think they're going to win the series. And then after, I think they would beat either Oklahoma City and or Dallas. Like, point blank. It looks like Minnesota are going to the NBA Finals, Joe.
Wow. That's,
in my opinion,
a big statement. Yeah, if they can get past the Nuggets here, you're right. In the last game, in game one, I took them in the first half, in the first quarter and first half, and we know how that came down. The Nuggets ended up dominating at the very end of that first half. So I went back to it again today, hoping the Minnesota Twins could win the first quarter and first half. Looking good right now. Actually, that first quarter just finished off 28-20. So they're getting off to really strong starts here. But can the Nuggets answer back in this one, you guys? We saw them fight back a little bit in that last game. I just don't think they've got what it takes in this one.
I don't think so. I think Minnesota are going to roll in here and beat them again tonight, even without Rudy Gobert. Denver's problem right now, they're a two-man basketball team, and they rely on two guys too much. The pick and roll, the pick and roll, the pick and roll, the pick and roll with Jokic and Murray over and over. And the Lakers had a hard time dealing with it for whatever reason, even though they've freaking seen it like 9 games in a row. But they couldn't deal with it. Minnesota can. And we're seeing Minnesota are matching it up, and they're taking it away. Like Denver have 3 or 4 set plays that they like to run all the time, and Minnesota are onto it, like point blank. They're like, no, like you're not just going to pass it here, and we know what you want to do. You're not going to do it. Do something else. And the other guys on the Denver Nuggets better start stepping up and hitting some shots. Plus, Jamal Murray's not 100%. So I got my concerns about this Denver Nugget team right now. And we see in the East, it was a hell of a series start tonight at MSG. I maintain, I thought that the blocking call on with the pick there, I thought that was a garbage call on Turner late in the basketball game, but it is what it is. The Pacers did get the cover. So let's get back to the NHL. 4-1 in the hockey game. 9 minutes left. I got Bruin fans tweeting me saying, I told you so. They're all excited as the Bruin party continues. Tomorrow night, the Carolina Hurricanes and the New York Rangers. The Canes are once again favorites in this series. I said on Friday night I thought it was stupid that the Canes were favored at MSG in Game 1, and I hit the Rangers pretty hard yesterday. You're going to have a more desperate Carolina team tomorrow night, but it doesn't mean they're going to win just because they're desperate tomorrow. I'm not passing up the Rangers, Joe, at plus 100 on home ice tomorrow. What's your pick for tomorrow?
Yeah, I'm exactly with you there. The Rangers are looking so strong, especially on the power play, and I do think they'll be able to capitalize in this game versus the Carolina Hurricanes when they make those mistakes and end up in the box. So it's the Rangers for me. I'm also going to look at Panarin for the power play point, and I would look here for this one to maybe go to overtime. I think there's the ability for this to be a tighter game. I don't expect it to start off as fast as we saw in the last game, but we know the Carolina Hurricanes in the third period is when they really have dominated in the playoffs so far. So maybe a third period bet on the Carolina Hurricanes might be in play as well.
Cam, what's your pick for the Rangers and the Canes tomorrow? Game 2.
Yeah, we were on Rangers Game 1. I'm going to go to Carolina Game 2 with the split. It was a very tight game, the first one. You guys are absolutely correct about the Rangers special teams. Their power play is great, but I see a desperate Carolina team. Very tight game. I see Carolina winning like a 4-3 game. I'd take the over again. I think that total's too low. This is the one series I think we can get some goals in. So, yeah, I'm going to take Carolina. I like the over, but I like Carolina more.
I think the Rangers are being undervalued for whatever reason, which I don't really understand. Like, didn't they win? They won the President's Cup. So, like, they're the 1 seed. They have home ice. Yet Carolina were series favorites, Joe. It's like, why?
I know, it was head scratching.
Like what? What's, Carolina. Carolina this. Carolina. I'm like, well, yeah, why? Doesn't make any sense. I'm not saying the Rangers should be massive favorites, but I didn't understand, and we'll get to the Edmonton line with Vancouver.
It was 150.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
That's yes. It should have been Carolina 150. That series is a straight pick 'em if you're going to do it.
No, the Rangers should have been favorites. Yeah. They're the ones with home ice. They're the ones that are the higher seed. Like, why would Carolina be favored, Cam? Why should they be favored?
I don't know. I think they're very evenly matched, but the fact that it's 50 cents is ridiculous to me. Like, I don't mind the series being a pick 'em, but the number's way off. Way off.
You can make money with hockey prices, like with the series prices. A lot of them are like way off. I think this is one. And then you look at the Edmonton one. I just think back to the Montreal Canadiens and the Vegas Golden Knights when they played in the conference finals. It wasn't Eastern or Western that year. It was split up. It was just whatever. In one of the COVID years there. But the Vegas Golden Knights were like minus 500 favorites against the Canadiens. They were the biggest conference final favorites in like 30 years or something like that. Going back to like the Oilers against the Blackhawks or something maybe in the early 80s. It was insane. And the Canadiens ended up winning the series. And you look at this now, Joe, with the Edmonton Oilers minus 250 favorites against the Vancouver Canucks series price when the Canucks beat them all 4 times that they played this year. So you can say, oh, well, it was a regular season. It's like, okay, well, they only play, there's only 2 seasons, right? Regular season and postseason. So they played 4 times. And in fact, they've beaten them 5 of the last 6 times that they played overall. So they beat them 4 straight, 5 of the last 6. And I know Edmonton backers and fans have an excuse for every one of them. Oh, it was the first game. Oh, it was early in the year. Oh, McDavid didn't play in the last game. It's like, okay. And the Vancouver Canucks have home ice advantage. They have a better record than Edmonton do. They beat Edmonton 4 times that they played in all 4 meetings, yet it's minus 250 for the Edmonton Oilers, Joe. I find this to be lunacy.
Yeah, it's an absolute joke. I'm completely with you, and I'm glad we feel the same way on this, because when I saw that, I was shaking my head. It's like everyone just thinks because Connor McDavid's on this team that the Edmonton Oilers can get the win, and I'm not buying into it, because you look like, well, Zach Hyman has been phenomenally strong, and Connor McDavid's been getting those assists, but I still don't trust this team defensively. And with Skinner in net, I don't have faith in Edmonton. I've said it all season, and I know he had a good series in the last round versus the Kings, but that's going to come to an end, I really do think, versus Vancouver, because you look at Vancouver, what was their average goals on the season, like 4.26 goals per game? Like, this is a team that can light the lamp game after game, and I do think they'll find the back of Skinner's net. So I would look at Vancouver. I'm looking at them the first game, plus 112 as well.
I don't have a problem with Skinner. But I do agree that he's going to be much more challenged against Vancouver than he was against LA. I think people underestimated LA's kind of ineptness offensively and overestimated Edmonton defensively. People are like, oh my God, the Oilers are great defensively. Now, no, the Kings just suck. They can't, they're bad on offense, the Kings.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books. And outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in Game 1 of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
This is SportsRage. I am Morency. We're getting fired up. The playoffs are here. The Boston Bruins are rolling the Florida Panthers tonight, 4-1, under 5 minutes remaining. As far as the NBA is concerned, things have gotten worse for the Denver Nuggets. They were down 8 points after the first quarter. Great call, Joe, in the first quarter, first half. Minnesota are now up by 16. Like, Denver haven't scored still in the second quarter. They were losing 28-20 after the first quarter. It's 36-20 right now. They've been outscored 8-0. I told you guys, Minnesota, man, they're like Mr. T. I'm coming for you, Balboa. Right? Like they're just coming. Like they're not playing around. And Minnesota, like I said, Denver are really good, but Denver are good when they're setting the tempo and the pace of the game. Like they like to, Jokic likes to walk the ball up and he likes to play his maestro stuff. And Minnesota are taking Denver out of their comfort zone, which is pretty impressive. That's like the big thing here. Great coaching by a dude with like a busted leg up and stuff on the sideline here. Now they're up 39-22. I got the over and I got the T-Wolves. I need some points here. So, Cam, you said, I don't know if you remember, but on Friday you said you're taking the Oilers. You do think the Oilers. You don't agree with the line, but you said the Oilers in 6. Are you standing by that?
7. I said 7. Oilers in 7. I think it was the distance. Yeah. I think they'll find a way. But you know what? Would it surprise me if Vancouver won? No. And the line is totally disrespectful. The Oilers are a very good offensive team. If Vancouver could find offense, they'll win the series. They just got to find. They have to find offense. I think it's actually a very, very tight series. I just give the edge to Edmonton because of their special teams prowess. That's all I'm going to say. I think Vancouver's underrated. I think their goaltending's fantastic, and I think Nashville's a lot better than LA, as you mentioned. The Nashville Predators, where you talked about it earlier, they're one of the best teams at the end of the year. These guys were on fire, and they're hard out. They play a hard brand of hockey. They hit you. They do a lot of things to hurt you over time. So Vancouver survived, and I think people are thinking Edmonton is just this team that can't be beaten. They can't. They're very good, but the line suggests like that. You're telling me they're 2.5 a favorite? Like plus, minus 250 is nuts. And the fact is, you said it. Vancouver's the home team. Like that line it's just out of whack. It's totally wrong. But I think it goes the distance. Edmonton at 7. That's my pick.
I like Joe because I know she hates the Oilers as a Flames fan. So you'd rather see the Canucks win. What's your prediction for the series, Joe?
Yeah, I'm going to roll with Vancouver. I think Vancouver gets it done in 6. So I just love everything this team brings. And I do think we'll see Demko back after the first couple of games. It's going to be a battle out there for sure. I think there's a couple of overtime games that Vancouver will be able to take. But I just trust this team more. And I like what they can do offensively. And I love the fact that people are doubting them here versus the Edmonton Oilers. I definitely think it will give them more fire going into this. I just hope the Vancouver fans, Gabe, you know how crazy those fans are, can not light the city on fire this year. It'd be nice.
Yeah.
Probably not, to be honest. I kind of thought that, no, yet there's a fever pitch. And in fact, it reminds me, if in fact you guys can get the picture up here of old memories, Joe, of the last riot. We've got, somebody sent in a great picture. And there was a video of a kid today. So here it is. Somebody, I'm guilty as charged.
Oh, my God. Hey, dude, that's a dead ringer for you young. Wow, man. That is nuts. Dude,
that's
that
me
guy
in
looks just like you.
2011. Yeah, but the only difference is why I can say that it's not me. You can see Buddy's got a little ponytail back there. His little hair back there, like a little mullet. He's got a mullet going.
He's got hockey hair. Big lid. That is
it kind of does look like me. In fact, like somebody said it to me. They said, Morency, I know it's not you, but dear God, it really looks like you, doesn't it? And other people are like, is that you?
Unbelievable.
I'm getting a lot of people are like, is that you?
Doppelganger.
For the record,
it's like your twin.
For the record, somebody, like all kinds of people like are believing it's me. Like it's blowing up. People are like, what were you doing? They were like, I didn't know you were rioting. I was like, yeah, you didn't know?
No, honestly, God, Gabe, it's like the same eyes, the same face, the expression. Like, this guy's like you. It's like, that's shocking. Like, I never, like, that is wild.
I gotta get a picture with this guy outside the game. I'm gonna go to the game of the series. I gotta see this guy.
My long lost twin.
He'll be with his torch there. Something's on fire, piece of wood on fire.
Guy's have you met my arsonist brother? That guy likes fire. What game are you going to again? Are you going into 1 or 2? You going to 1 or 2?
I'm going to go to game 2 Friday night.
Yeah. That's cool. Get your weekend
game
going.
2.
Friday, Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. That's a good call. Smart. Friday's the game.
It's going to be an epic night. Game 2 Friday night, rolling into the weekend. We'll see what happens in game 1. But the fact, and I think Joe, you remember, Cam, you remember when it was the Super Bowl week? Actually, it was when the Edmonton Oilers had a 16-game win streak.
Yeah.
Right? Was it 17, 16, whatever? I think it was 16. They had a 16-game win streak, and the All-Star break came. What happened? They lost the first game back out of the break to the Las Vegas Golden Knights. And I remember I was we were there, and I said, take the Golden Knights. They're going to win. They're going to beat Edmonton tonight in the middle of this win streak because it cooled Edmonton off. This series is taking forever to start. Like, when did Edmonton beat the LA Kings? Do you remember when it was? Was it Wednesday or was it Thursday? Wednesday?
I think it was Wednesday.
It was fast. It was in 5 games.
Yeah, it was.
Was it last Wednesday? I want to confirm this.
So we're talking a week, regardless, because this series starts Wednesday. That's nuts.
Yeah, I think they're in minimum 6 days. They're off like a week, 6 days type thing. And the Canucks played Friday, but the difference with the Canucks is this is like buying massive time for Thatcher Demko to get healthier. Like, it's an extra, like the Canucks, it was Wednesday. So, yeah, it's going to be a full, thank you, Matthew Georgian, our master controller. Yep. It's going to be a full 7 days for the Oilers. It's not good, like, that's going to cool them off, bro.
Well,
and people say, Vancouver played Friday. No. Vancouver got beat up by Nashville. Nashville are big dudes that hit them. Quinn Hughes was limping around. They were all beat up. They're all like saying, oh, yeah, we really could. This is great. Like, they're all refreshed now. They're back on the ice flying around the Canucks. I think it's advantage Vancouver in game one, personally. I think Edmonton are going to be cold and flat coming out of the gate.
Yep.
Your gut says Miami is going to win, and you should take the over. Your gut also said your NFT selfies would only go up in value. They didn't. But your head is on SportsGrid and knows the QB is in concussion protocol. The backup has a 45 QBR against the zone coverage. The New York D has the most sacks in the league. So yeah, trust your head. It's smarter to be on SportsGrid.
A lot of books. And outside of the New York area, the Canes are actually favored in game one of this series. I'm seeing it right now. I'm looking. I see a minus 115 Canes, Rangers minus 105.
I like the 6 and 7 games prop, like I took with Boston, Toronto, which we now know is going to cash. I think it's got a chance to go the distance. It's going to be a long, tough, close series.
SportsRage Late Night, only on SportsGrid.
Draisaitl could easily, at plus money, get the first goal, the second goal, the fourth goal. There's a few guys here. Maybe the prop betting market is not a bad way to look here.
Clippers over the Mavericks. If I would have told you that score before the game, knowing that Kawhi Leonard wasn't playing, I would have really figured it would have been the other way around. But the NBA is just crazy.
In-game live, all access, only on SportsGrid.
DraftKings making a progressive move, I think, that most other companies are also going to do or have done in the past. Adding someone from the government or someone you would say in legislation to become their responsible gaming leader here. And in this case, her name is Lori Kalani.
And it'll be interesting to see if other companies try to follow suit in terms of hiring former lobbyists to head responsible gaming.
Newswire, only on SportsGrid.
$49-30 right now for the Minnesota Timberwolves. It's a hatchet job. They're running them out of the gym here. Up 49-30. In-game total is 206.5, right around the number. The T-Wolves is crazy. The T-Wolves are up by 19, but they're laying 7.5 right now. So you're getting plus 7.5 with the Denver Nuggets. It's 5-1 for the Boston Bruins right now. Major League Baseball. 5-3, Walker Buehler's return not going well It's 5-3 right now for the Dodgers. There's been 8 runs scored, and we're still in the bottom of the second inning right now. The Dodgers have already put a 5 spot up, though. And the Oakland Athletics, one of the most profitable teams in baseball, leading the Texas Rangers 2-0 right now. It's to the point right now where the odds makers are taking the A serious. They were only like plus 110, plus 115 home dogs tonight against the defending World Series champions, and rightfully so. They're playing 500 baseball. So, Joe, before we get you out of here, Dallas, I like your pick, Vancouver in 6, bold. Dallas and Colorado. Colorado have generally owned Dallas over the last couple of seasons, but what do you think happens in this series?
This is going to be an absolute battle out there. My problem with Colorado is goaltending. Georgiev did look stronger in those last couple of games, and Jake Ottinger was on fire as well. So I'm looking at this one for some goal scorers. Wyatt Johnson, I think, will be strong again for the Dallas Stars. I really do think this one goes all the way to 7. I struggle to see who's going to come out on top. I want to know what you guys are thinking for who's going to come out on top, because I look at both of these teams offensively, both so strong. Defenses are showing up. I give the edge, though, to Jake Ottinger and net over Georgiev.
Cam, what's your pick? Who's winning the series? The Stars or the Avs?
I like Dallas in 7. I have them going to the Stanley Cup. I'm not backing out with this team right now. They're starting to figure it out. It will be a great series. Advantage with the goaltending. Joe's right. Good series.
My Stanley Cup, the New York Rangers versus the Vancouver Canucks. 1994 rematch.
I love it.
Yeah, history is going to repeat itself. Hopefully, it'll be a little different. It's bold. Yeah. I understand. I get it. It's bold. But I think Vancouver could beat Edmonton. And then the next one will be that'll be the tough one. Not that Edmonton's not tough, but I think Vancouver can beat Edmonton. It's just one of those weird matchup deals. And plus, Edmonton have a history of, like, failing in the playoffs. People, let's not forget that, right? Mm-hmm. They have not had a lot of success. They've had first-round success. It's going to be a hell of a series, but, I do think Vancouver would have a hard time against Colorado and or Dallas after. I know, listen, Colorado give Vancouver problems. They do. Like, they're so fast. Like, Vancouver like to play a kind of a fast skate-around game. Colorado are good at it. And they have Cale Makar. Like, you got Hughes. Thing with the Canucks is they kind of match up with everybody, right? Like, if you look at, like, people don't really talk about them, but if you look at the players that they have, it's like, all right, Zach Hyman scores a ton of goals. So does Brock Besser, right? It's like, okay, yeah, you know what? The Edmonton Oilers don't have anybody on their defense that is as good as Quinn Hughes is. The goaltending is even. You could argue Vancouver goalies are better than Skinner, even though Seelov's the kid. He's kind of hot right now. So there's a lot of counter arguments. But Colorado and Dallas, man, that's a tough series to predict. I'll say Dallas, though, as well. I'll pick Dallas as well. Joe, it's always a pleasure. Great stuff. Go Canucks.
Yeah, let's go Canucks.
Screw those Oilers. Edmonton.
Yeah, like, seriously. Don't screw on the Oilers. Let's go Canucks.
All these Leaf fans, too, it's like, go Oilers. It's like the Canucks exist.
Oh,
like,
yeah. The national media now is on the Edmonton train.
It's enough. Like, I heard so much crap today. Like, I was listening to, like, radio. I'm like, enough. Like, sports radio. We're going to go for Edmonton. It's like, there is a team that they're playing against. Like, I get it. Oilers are everybody's popular team, but show a little respect here. Like, come on.
ESPN, who does broadcast the NHL now, has 24 people to cover hockey for them, like, overall. So they're reporters, some of their announcers and analysts and stuff. Out of 24 people, 23 of them picked the Edmonton Oilers to win the series.
23, 98%.
Yeah. There was one guy, Ryan S. Clark, picked the Vancouver Canucks. Shout out to Ryan S. Clark.
Ryan S. Clark, friend of the program.
Yeah, we're going to get Ryan S. Clark on the show. He's the one guy. You know what? When the Canucks win, I will. I'll be like, hey, dude, I saw you. You were the only one out of your 24 colleagues. They're all a bunch of losers that didn't know anything. Thanks, Joe.
Later, Joe.